Hello, everyone.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey
We did
Justin.
little bit longer of an intro. 3 minutes always feels very fast when you're staring at a timer the entire time. So, um, we gave some time for folks to join, and we know folks will join along the way because that's just how live streams work. But if you're listening to this after the fact, the people in the future who are hearing this as a podcast episode, welcome to you as well.
Welcome.
I see we already have Justin, the
What's up, Justin?
bestest brother. He's on time.
Yeah,
Look at
actually.
that.
What's up
Look
with
at
that?
that. Welcome, Justin. Yeah, so unlike normal, where this is sort of a just live episode where we chit chat and hang out and have fun, um, this is actually a live show. If you read the title right and whatnot, and if you read the title right in the future as well, you'll see this isn't just a reposting of a live stream, just any live stream. This is episode 99 of the main show,
Yes, it is.
and
We're
it's
almost
live.
at 100. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, if I had half a mind, I guess I would have waited and done this for the next episode when it was actually 100, but you know
Who
what?
cares? We'll be fine.
Who cares? Well, the patrons I was gonna say we don't answer to anyone, but we actually do,
We
because we
do.
have patrons. But anyway, and we're grateful to them. Their money goes to supporting this madness, so if you have any complaints, take it up with them. But anyway, yes, this is a live episode of the main show because we wanted to talk about the latest Star Wars thing to come out, being Star Wars Visions. And so,
Yes.
hopefully, everyone who is either going to join us live or who has listened to this after the fact has seen Star Wars Visions because, I mean, the whole hour is going to be basically spent spoiling it because
Pretty much.
we're going to talk about all of it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about what we loved about it, what we think. I don't know. I don't think anything could have been done better, honestly, because I
Meh.
loved it.
I mean, I have a couple, but it's not anything. It's nothing like, "Oh, this was horrible, and this is why, this was a bad idea." It's more just, notes of preference,
Yeah.
than anything, which is bound to happen with something as stylistic as anime, and so, it's gonna be a lot of just how much we like everything. I was asked to rank it, and I did. It was
You
very
did.
difficult, mostly because there's only 9 episodes, and I started with a, 10 scale, and so I had to redo everything when I realized that I had
You
one
had
free space.
one
I had
too
a free
many.
space, yeah.
I feel like you
The
could
free
put
space is for the fans.
yeah, the free space is always for
You
the
guys are always my
homies.
favorite. Um,
Exactly.
but no, yeah, and then, I mean, before that, though, there was a development in the galaxy that, severely traumatized Meg,
Not
apparently.
in this galaxy. It was in the Super Mario Galaxy.
Yes.
Ah, yeah, I am. Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
It's a reference, look it up.
it is
Star Wars not Star Wars
not Star
Galaxies,
Wars. Super
Super
Mario
Mario Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Look it up.
There's secret code in the shines.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
so yeah, I've been very vocal about the fact that I am a fan of the Super Mario Brothers movie, the 1993 classic. I
Yes.
believe is
Yes.
1993. I think so.
Probably.
Yeah, I unironically love that movie so much.
Mhm.
We rented it from Blockbuster all the time.
I mean, and just a quick note, and then I'll let you get on with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to you and the people listening, you don't have to justify your favorite things,
No.
by the way.
Oh
You
gosh,
don't
no.
have to make it make sense for someone else if you like something. Just like
Yeah.
because that's one of your favorite
I
movies.
just love this
Just like your stuff. That's all.
Exactly. I feel like I am the island of misfit movies lover
Right.
so
I would
much.
agree to that. But yeah, every time you mention it, you always kind of slip into like justifying it, and I don't think you got to
'Cause
do
it's a
that.
great movie, all right? I
No,
want
no, no.
people to
I mean
know why I
justifying
love
what
it.
you like it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess is part of just being like, I like it. I want someone else to like it, but also
Yeah.
it's just like it's a defense mechanism of I know this is gonna get grief,
Yeah.
but
Which
eh,
honestly we sometimes do with the sequel trilogy. Sometimes
yeah.
I couldn't remember what the movies were called for a second because I have ADHD. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, just like
Yeah.
what you like.
Just like what you like.
So you like that
I
movie
like that movie. I like the casting of that movie. Controversial, one might say.
better than what we
What's
got
more
for this animated
controversial?
film. I'll give it that. I'll give the
Yeah.
old film that
Yeah.
it did better.
It cast Italians, is
Now
what I'll say.
I will say yes, this is an animated movie,
But still.
but still, it's very, very silly,
Okay,
the
so
choices they made.
We got freaking Chris Pratt as Mario, which
Mhm.
was the first thing that I saw, and I was like, "What?
Of course, that's what everybody wanted to talk about.
Pardon me."
Um,
We have
I don't remember the whole list. I
yeah,
know
it's
Jack Black is Bowser.
I'm pumped for that. I think he's gonna be great.
I
What's
think
up?
I
Oh, we
a
have an
little too
Italian in the
spicy for
chat.
me, Jax. I'm just kidding. I like spicy. Um,
And
yeah, whereas I want to be happy that Jack Black is Bowser,
yeah,
it's a good casting overall. He's a really cool voice actor. At the
absolutely.
same time, I'm also like, there's
Mamma
already a
mia.
voice. There's already
Yes.
voices for
Okay.
all of these characters
Charles Martinet has been Mario for
the
25
entire time,
years.
right? The entire
Yeah,
time, yeah.
he
Like
first started in Mario 64.
it. That's the biggest thing.
Wait, no,
It's
before that.
just that they decided, yes, there have been voices for these characters for years, but we're gonna ignore that for household names. I
Yeah.
just think that's silly. Um, I mean, speaking of Star Wars Visions, they could have easily done the same thing. We could get just generic voice actors, and by generic, I mean people that do this for a living, but they did a great work and a great job casting a variety of casts but that were also authentic.
They did
And
great
for the
jobs.
one person that is an actual, well, no, technically, for the two people that are actual characters, Boba Fett and Battle Droids, they got Tamora Morrison and Matthew Wood. So
Oh
it's
my
just they
gosh.
respect the heritage. So it's just like it's not like they got Obi-Wan and then just cast, I mean, Jack Black. Like
I
no,
would love to see Jack Black as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I want to see him do anything in Star Wars.
I
It'd be
want
great.
him he's one of those actors that I'm just like, "I want you to be happy, sir. I want you to live a long and fulfilled life."
Right. Like I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know that I want a Sonic the Hedgehog level revolt that forces change because I,
Okay.
in part, don't necessarily agree with that in what happened.
No.
I don't know. I just like I don't.
I don't think it should be a release the Snyder cut all over again.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think we need to revolt because of it, but
No.
I feel your pain in
You
this one,
you can just
even not
not
being a
watch the
huge Mario
movie.
fan. I mean, I feel that's bad to the animators because they're doing the
Well,
most work.
yeah, you got a point.
No offense to voice acting, but I just mean like that
I'm gonna go see it.
you go in for a few hours and you've done a movie's worth of dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Whereas animating, you probably get 5 minutes in 3 days,
Yeah.
depending. So I, I don't know. It's conflicting. I think it was a choice they thought would be good marketing
Yeah.
that turned out not to be.
Support the creators, don't support the nonsense. Yes. Yes, he could be Guy. He could be Guy so good.
He could be Gee's daddy. I feel like because
Ew.
I liked both voice actors for Gee as
I
well.
think they were great. And also, can we get some better like bassist representation, please? We're not all
I could
slugs.
hear the bass.
Yeah.
Well, oh,
Oh, it was great.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're
Well, he
not
was the coolest one
I
though,
feel like
arguably.
it's either like an unattractive man or Sid Vicious, who is an unattractive man. That is like the representation for
Well, in
bassists
general, if
everywhere.
you're not the one guy in the lead, most people don't pay attention to you. It's a shame, but it is the way it is.
It is a shame. It's a darn shame.
But yes, get Jack Black
Bassists
in a
unite.
Star Wars is the compromise to this conversation and the segue
Yeah.
into Star Wars.
Okay.
Because I feel like we could talk anything. That's usually
What's up,
why.
Jesse?
What's up, Jesse? That's usually why we do these live streams and do it very disconnected, is because we can chat and we enjoy just chatting,
We like having fun.
for sure. And so, and as a quick note before we move on to Star Wars, speaking of live streams, but real quick, let's check this comment. Justin said, "Fair play to the voice actor that did the English version. I didn't see the dubbed version yet."
Yes.
Um, I thought both were great. I have nothing negative to say about either. I know there's always this big anime war about sub or dub. I think both can be fine. I think like Dragon Ball Z is that way for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy both.
Oh, Dragon
Um,
Ball Z definitely. I didn't like the dub for Inuyasha.
oh my gosh, what are you talking?
I
That's some of my
know.
favorite.
I
Um,
was annoyed by Kagome.
I can. Were you annoyed by Kagome or were you annoyed by Kagome?
Inuyasha!
Oh my gosh, people talk about Finn being like Ray all the time, but don't talk to me until you've seen Inuyasha. Um,
Or Akira.
I
Tetsuo!
in general, I like to respect both, because, it's one of those things growing up a fan of, kaiju films, it yes, as a child,
Yeah.
could I have just read the subtitles? Yes, it wasn't distributed that way, so I kind of, from a young age, was conditioned to respect both sides, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, a lot of '90s kids were steeped in this anime American fusion of, I mean, you've got Power Rangers, you've got Godzilla
Yeah.
films and stuff like that, you've got Ultraman, all of those things where it's just like,
Ultraman.
it's
Love Ultraman.
it's both, so it's hard for me to separate, so, um,
Yeah.
anyway, so live streaming. Moving
Live
forward,
streaming.
if you haven't seen the announcement on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, first of all, shame on you for not following those. Links in the description. Second of all, we are taking our usual live streaming format, which we've called Nerd Chatter for a while now, because I mean, it's one of those things where if we get together, especially with a lot of our followers, it's, I mean, it's going to blend into our fandoms, right?
Yeah.
And it usually does. Um, we've also had a series, we talked about this on the last live stream, called Hat Chatter, where we just kind of come up with topics that are less fandom, more us, and chit chat about that.
Yeah.
We have
Lots of
taken,
heartfelt moments.
yeah, really, really deep moments unexpectedly, and thank you to everybody that supported both of those projects.
Yeah.
Both of those are now having a baby. So Hat Chatter and Nerd Chatter are having a baby,
Ooh,
that's gonna be called Herd Chatter.
good
That's
for
gonna
them.
be our weekly live stream moving forward. We enjoy doing this, and we enjoy the content that both Hat Chatter and Nerd Chatter provided, so we wanna do both, and that's what's gonna happen moving forward. So each week, you can expect a live stream from us where we just chat. We could talk about the news about the Mario movie. We could talk about, just general nerd news or general nerd topics, or we could get deep. There's no telling, but we will chat about something, and we invite you in every week for that conversation. So, a great reason, if you're not already, whether you're watching this live or listening to it later, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get notifications if you turn it on for when we go live. And you'll also still get another episode throughout the week that's either Nerdherder Main Show, where we talk all things Star Wars, or Nerdyverse, where we talk about everything not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so change is happening, and we're excited for that. So
Yeah.
now the second thing is there will be a link. I failed to do it on the live stream, but if you're listening to this after the fact, you can find it there, or you can head to our Twitter for the link there. We have done a questionnaire. We need your help.
Would
Um,
you like to take a survey?
Sundays
Do you
suck.
like Georgia Went?
I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Sundays suck. The only reason we do live streams, on Sundays is because it's the only day during the week that we are both not working,
Yes.
which is technically not true because we do in the mornings, but we're off by a reasonable 2:30, 3 o'clock. So, it was the only available time. If Sunday is the only available time and everybody likes it and it's fine, cool. We'll stick with it. We
Yeah.
will do it for you guys, um, and the Vine.
We'll do it
But
for them.
what the questionnaire exists to find out your opinion on, is there a better day, better time, any of that. So please just give your opinion. We can't appease everyone, but we can definitely take everyone into consideration, which is the goal. So
Just you got my reference.
check that out on either our Twitter page for our live people, or check it out in the description below for our dead people, aka the people listening to the podcast after the fact. I think that's
I think it's time to put
the
up the like,
housekeeping.
comment, survive
It's
banner.
it's 20 minutes in, and we're finally going
Yeah.
to get into uh, the point. Um, just quickly, what is this?
Do you like Georgia Went movies? Do
No,
you
who
like
is
movies
that?
with George Wendt eating baked
I don't
beans?
know. No, what is
Would you
this?
like to take a
This is a
survey?
family joke, and I feel
Yes, it
uncomfortable.
is.
um,
Lady go down the hole.
yeah, okay. You asked me to again rank Star Wars
Uh,
Vision episodes, and I did.
yes, you
And
did, and I did as
the
well.
point of this, whatever time we do have together, I thought it was going to be an hour. I didn't expect to spend 20 minutes chit chatting. The
Oh,
nature of the beast, I guess.
you silly, silly boy.
So we will take what time we do have to try and discuss, I guess, each of the episodes. Yeah,
Yeah,
you kind of pilot this a
I
little bit,
do.
so because you're the internet queen, apparently.
I am
I don't know, you
Not.
just win the internet a lot more than I do, and I think that's because
I have supportive friends.
you're way
That's
more
what
you
makes
than
me
me.
on the internet.
Yeah, well, and that's how you get your friends. You're way more
Yeah.
you than I am. I'm very subdued
I
in
apparently attract
on the
weirdos
internet,
and dads for some reason.
which make for a good podcast following,
Good.
apparently. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um,
Hop on, Justin.
well,
Tell
hopefully
me
we
your
can
secrets.
excite you about the rest, and you can watch it after Justin, who has only watched the first 3. I'm not good at because I'm always thinking about the people that are just listening to this after the fact.
Yeah. Ah,
Um, but
shut up,
I'm not
Justin.
exactly sure should I read all the comments every time because
No,
sometimes,
it's just
especially,
Justin doing
I
this.
was gonna say between Justin and Jackson, ADHD and just Italian spice, I just don't know what to do with
That's
these
just
comments.
that's Jackson's Spice Girl name.
Exactly, Italian spice, which is just garlic.
It's oregano,
And a cacophony of green things, yes. Alright,
including
Star
radish.
Wars Visions.
Okay, so let's start off with the pre-prepared questions that are kind of general.
Yes, just real
Uh,
quick, Justin has summed up our podcast.
yeah,
It's
actually,
90% nonsense.
90% nonsense. The rest of it's, actual content. Um, so yes. Where do we start? I
I
put
just
these
did it
out of
in
order.
order. Oh, did you put yours out of order?
Yeah. Well, no, I ranked mine as much as I cared
So
to.
what I did is I put each of the episodes in order and then just ranked them how they fell. So they're
Wow.
not ranked in order because we were watching them in order. So it did better by my brain to do it that way
Yeah, what we can
because I didn't know
do
where they were going to fall.
yeah, what we can do is we can go through and I'll share where it is on my ranking as well.
Okay.
Because I didn't put them in order. I
So
ranked them.
then we start with the duel, um, the
Yeah.
first episode.
Which was my number 1.
Really?
Yes.
This is my number 2.
I
Go ahead and bets in the comments who's my number 1 if you know them.
know you.
Um, yeah, the duel. I really liked it. My notes were it's aesthetically one of the best. I really enjoyed, and I think although I have a comment that contradicts this later on, um, I think this was the best way to start it in that it is the perfect blend of Star Wars and Japanese lore. You
Yeah.
not only just in an anime way, but also in a filmmaking way. I love this the film grain on this, very Akira Kurosawa,
Yeah.
um, which I appreciate wasn't consistent through all of them. I didn't want all of them just to be Akira Kurosawa, Miyazaki. I didn't want just the famous ones recreated. Um, the the loud one,
The bold one.
the bold one,
The band
the
one?
band one.
Ah,
No,
no.
try again. I do like that one though.
Oh, yeah.
So
It
yeah,
was great.
I thought this was a good proof of concept, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the one that was definitely like this is what's gonna sell it kinda thing.
Yeah,
I
that it can work.
yeah, I absolutely loved the animation style. I forget the name of the company that did it, but they were just absolutely incredible.
Just a blanket statement, all of the animation was great.
Beautiful.
All of the voice
Absolutely
acting,
beautiful.
English and Japanese was great. So this is just a general shout out to all of them.
We're
Cuz
just wowed by you,
yeah, all
friends.
all of them are and were amazing and should do more things, Star
Yeah,
Wars and otherwise.
I agree.
Just to save us time each time. I mean, I like part of me, yes, wants to mention everyone all the time, but at the same time, we don't have all the time.
We do though.
Use your own time to read the stuff.
Podcast is forever.
Um, yes. So Justin brings up a good point. This is also the perfect one
Yes.
to get a follow up or prequel.
I
I
don't
don't know if it
know.
before or after.
Ronan's coming out soon.
Um, and I'm excited because this had really interesting lore and philosophy that was very subtly done. Um, I appreciate that it starts off, which
Mhm.
again, Akira Kurosawa, it starts off very Seven Samurai, in that it feels like he and these bandits, or
Mhm.
he and these guardians, or whatever they called the bounty hunters, are going to
Yeah.
defend the village, and it turns out to be something very different.
Oh, yeah. The Doug in the probe droid was probably my favorite character.
I loved the like Death Star bot. They really need to rename that.
Yeah.
That it doesn't belong to the Death Star no more than the Force belongs to the Jedi.
Wow.
Uh, but
Hot take. Hit the button.
the Death Star droid with the Gatling gun was awesome.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, I thought it was going to go that direction. I appreciate that they pulled the rug out and went for a more interesting. He's not a Jedi. He's not a Sith. He's ambiguous. He's just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you feel about
you
the
know,
sheath saber?
I like it.
Sheath!
I think it works aesthetically. I liked the umbrella saber too. I thought that was very interesting. I appreciate that wasn't her lightsaber.
Don't get me started.
I like that it was an attachment. Um,
The umbrella saber gave me an aneurysm, it was so cool.
w
I was hyped about it before it came out. I love the umbrella saber so much, I want more. Gimme.
so I'm not the only one. Justin also thought of
Yes.
Seven Samurai. And I
Of
think that's
course.
what they were going for. And again, I love that they did a twist with it. So
Mm.
this is for all of those reasons and more. That's my second favorite.
We love a problematic king.
I think the only thing that's going to make the first one stand out is just the fact that it appeals to personal preference. This one, I think, hands down, is the best one.
Mhm.
Um, because again, I think it was a bit of the pilot. I think this was the one that leaned in to sell the concept. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I think this is the one that got the most attention and work to try and blend both evenly. Because everything else definitely leans one way or the other, very Star Wars or very anime.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a bad thing, but I just mean this is the
No.
most even, I think. I would like to see uh, sh- uh, saber
Hyperdrives.
sheaths more often. I think that
Yeah.
was a cool concept.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of people were, like, got their panties in a twist about it, but, like, whatever, it's Star Wars, it's a space movie
well, and I
for
think I
children.
don't think there was anything ever that felt like in all of them that felt like that wouldn't exist in Star Wars. I feel
No.
like Star Wars both is like it tries to be grounded in a way, but it's also just stylistic. So,
Yeah.
yeah, somebody doing making an attachment for their saber to make it a spinner.
It's
Sure.
dope.
I
We
mean,
have lightsaber
she
whips,
basically just watched Grievous and was like, "I want that," and she did it.
and
Good
she
for
did
her.
do it.
So yeah,
She did
we
it
could
very
probably talk
well.
about one of them, any of them, for a long time. But
We could. We should do a
anything else you want to
lightsaber
add?
episode.
We should.
I thought that the character design in this episode
Oh
was
my,
incredible. It
yes.
was absolutely
The
beautiful.
villain, I loved Ronan as well. I liked the stormtroopers,
Love the
and their kit
droid.
bashed armor. That's what I wanted the Mandalorian stormtroopers to look like. I
Yes.
understand they were using 501st, and nobody's gonna just break their arm. I would break my armor for Star Wars.
I feel like that's going to be a thing at Celebration this year.
I think so. Um, but yeah, I like that's what I would think the remnant stormtroopers would have looked like. So I
Yeah.
liked getting to see that for sure.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, so the next one is the band one or
Tatooine
Tatooine Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like this one.
It was my number 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, okay,
Okay.
here's my ranking system. I like all of them.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
I have so much trouble ranking things that I tend to put things that I like all of them,
Hmm.
but which ones do I like the least versus the most?
Yes, that's what ranking should
It
be. Like we've made it this bipolar of like good or bad,
Yeah,
and like it's not like that. It's good, great, and greater. Like
exactly.
I just don't
That's how
like
I
modern ranking.
feel.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to any of our other episodes, that would sound unfamiliar, but that's how we talk about everything Star Wars
Yeah, we
is
just love
we
stuff.
love all of it. It's
Yeah.
just certain episodes of Clone Wars speak louder than certain episodes of Resistance, and certain films just, resonate
Yeah.
more than other ones. Like it doesn't make any of them bad. Like
No,
there's no bad Star Wars
I agree.
except the Yuzon Vong stuff. That's just for the people that are going to listen later, that actually like that and just think
Yeah.
I'm being entirely serious. I'm not. Go
Never.
go listen to an episode where we talked about the Yuzon Vong
I read a
a few months
Wikipedia
ago.
article.
Um, it it's just not my Star Wars, but at the same time, it's not very Star Wars to begin with. So I feel like it's okay not to
Here's
like
the
it.
thing, it's hyper sci-fi.
Yeah, it's Star Trek, dude. It just is. Somebody
Yeah.
watched the Borg and was like,
It's
"What about that?" But
it's
Star Wars.
Star Trek, it's Hellraiser, it's also Ghosts of
Yes,
Mars.
that very true. Good, good. So, Tatooine Rhapsody, what for you made it less than the rest for you?
I don't know, I think it was the pacing, maybe? It moved very quickly. Um, I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I
I mean,
loved
it's
the
not to put
song.
you on the spot. I mean,
No,
I
yeah.
feel like gut react ranking is honest.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
but I didn't know if there was anything particular.
No, I had a lot of fun watching it. I think the song I preferred it in Japanese over English,
I
personally.
thought both did fine. I would be curious. I know. uh,
Joseph
Joseph.
Gordon-Levitt.
It's just such a long and unnecessary name. I know Joe. Is very talented.
Oh, he's very
I
talented.
believe he did the vocals for the singing and the acting.
I think
I
so.
don't know. It didn't list a singing voice for him, so um, I thought he did fine.
Yeah,
I thought it was fine. I listened to a lot of English translations of anime openings, so I'm very used to it's the style, but it's not necessarily
yeah.
Japanese, and that's literally only so I can understand it. It's not a preference. Again,
It's it's like Sakura Kiss in Japanese versus English,
right.
which if you have watched or on High School Host Club, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Um, I thought both were fun. I really liked this one. Originally, when I was doing a 1 through 10, this was number 5 just because it's very in the middle. It's very good, but it doesn't do anything crazy.
Yeah,
The one thing I'll say that it did very well, and I appreciate it being the only one to do this, but it featured Star Wars characters. It featured Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt, very
just
familiar faces.
a very, very cute Bib Fortuna.
Yeah,
Just so
I love
cute.
his
I
little
love
shark
that
face.
boy.
Um, yeah, I appreciate I honestly part of me wishes they didn't,
Mhm.
just so it could be completely disconnected from what we know, but part of me also thought they did it well.
Oh, yeah, it was very well
I
done.
thought it was nice.
It didn't overwhelm the story.
And,
It was very well integrated into the story.
yeah, it fit. It didn't feel like it didn't feel forced. It felt
Yeah.
like it made sense. So yeah, I thought it was fine. It was, number 6 for me, going off of a 1 through 9.
Bib is a cute baby, isn't he?
I love him.
He's so
There
cute.
was someone else that stood out to me. I love just their take in general. I'm a big fan of Gendy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars.
Yes.
I love seeing people artistically and stylistically create familiar characters. Like take Obi-Wan Kenobi and make it your style.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we could talk forever about
We
any
really
of them.
could.
So
What's the next one?
the next one is the twins.
The
Yeah,
Twin
this is most of the internet's least favorite,
Twins
at
was
least
my
from
number 2.
what you've seen. This was my number 4.
High fives. Higher on the list than Bombad Cast.
Suck it. I'm just
Scotty
kidding.
hated the twins.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I felt so bad.
I can understand to a point because this is very shonen anime action. This is very stylized. This is very so. Uh, it went very. I made a specific note between this one and the next episode just because they were right next to each other. It was
Yeah.
convenient. This went very Star Wars in the story, very anime in the execution of action.
Yes.
And I think that's what people don't like is this one's very action forward. They went for style. They went very Evangelion, Kill a Kill style for this for sure.
Mhm.
Um, and I love the heck out of that because I like that stuff.
Absolutely. Oh,
um,
100%. It was like watching an episode of G Gundam at some
I was gonna
point.
say this is very up my alley
Yeah.
in terms of anime genre. So I think that this that's what puts it a little bit higher is the story's simple. The story's really
It's
stinking
really
simple,
simple.
but it's fun. It's just a fun episode. Um, I did like the story though. I thought it was
Mhm.
interesting. I the whole I don't know. They did the whole thing where it's just like the reactor will work with your suit and the crystal, and then we'll shoot a beam at something. And I was like,
Yes.
that doesn't really make sense to me,
It doesn't have to make sense.
but it's okay because the suits looked cool. I liked the Darth Vader esque
I liked
look
when
to
his
it.
clothes exploded like an episode of Food Wars.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved Kare overall. Him and
Mm,
our duo are two of my favorite
so
characters in this.
great.
I thought Neil Patrick Harris did a good job with
He
this.
did do.
The sub was much better. The Japanese voice actor did it better. Just I didn't think that until listening to the sub.
Yeah.
Um, no fault to Neil Patrick Harris, but um, yeah, it was just something I found after the fact where I'm just like, "Oh, okay, that's a little
That makes
whimsically
sense.
played up."
Yeah.
Um, I think and I mean, it's hard when you get a 15-minute episode and you've got, like, 6 lines. You've got to fill in a lot of gaps.
It's like the sub of Speed Racer versus the dub of Speed Racer.
I Justin said, "I like the ending, seems cheesy, but I feel that the ending fit the hope of Star Wars perfectly."
Here's the thing, you're also a brother, so that
Yeah,
makes sense for you.
I liked the idea of this one of dealing with, "You were born for this, but you can choose something else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just such a Star Wars thing. I love the history too of Sith alchemy and dark science. Like,
Yes.
cool. Anytime we can get that working in a story is fantastic. So yeah, I like the ending for this one. I'm trying to see if I had anything else particularly. Nope. Just a really cool episode.
Yeah, really great. I liked that one. I liked how, like, hyper cheesy it was.
Yeah, I mean, it felt very much like Gendy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars in that
Yes.
it just gets right to the action. The point
Yeah.
is the choreography and the action. The story is just a vehicle to get to explain why we have action.
Mhm.
Works for me.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, the next one is The Village Bride.
Yay. The Village Bride, that one's really very pretty. Where do I have it on my ranking? It's my number 4.
It is my number 7.
Wow.
Yeah. Um,
It's like Star Wars, Princess
yeah, I
Mononoke.
was gonna say if you wanna praise it first.
I liked it.
Praise the
Wow.
sun.
Praise the sun.
No, it does not.
Um,
I'm not gonna be overly negative.
no.
This one was my Tatooine Rhapsody for you, where it's lesser.
Yeah, it's I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
I think the animation was gorgeous. I think the action was very well placed. It didn't overly rely on beat 'em up, I guess.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
cut and dry.
Also,
No
we
pun
got
intended.
yeah, it was we got Hunky Wife, which I'm always a big fan
Yeah,
of.
random bystander with hunky wife.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I did enjoy this for sure.
Yeah,
So, in reference to my previous one, so whereas the twins I felt was very Star Wars in the story, very anime in the action, I felt like the Village Bride was very anime in story and very Star Wars in the action. I felt like it was
agreed.
a reverse, and I think that's for me why this is lesser than because this this is Star Wars visions, like, it
Yeah.
is Star Wars, and I felt like this was the most disconnected from that, heritage, um, not in a bad way because I liked the episode.
Yeah.
Everything about it felt like the pilot for the next big anime with Lone Warrior Woman as the lead. I think that's great. It's just it felt like you said, the action was just a tidbit at the end, and I feel like that was the only Star Wars part of this.
Yeah.
Um
Loved the lightsaber, loved her putting her heels into sport mode
Yeah,
like
I liked
a
that.
pair of
I liked
Crocs.
that. It felt very much like Ezra using a blaster saber where it's just like
Yes.
you're using the gift of technology rightly. Um, yeah, and I mean, it's not necessarily again a criticism. I liked it. It's just part of the reason I like anything Star Wars is for how much it leans on very familiar elements. And this one it felt like it was there in essence, but not as forward.
Mhm.
And so what we get is a fun episode, but for me, just one that I'm not I'm not thinking. So, for instance, like with the twins was one I was like pretty quickly after I want to rewatch that.
Yeah.
This one I'm fine rewatching in the beginning to end rewatch, but I'm not going to seek this one out by itself, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Understandable, and this was a lot of people's favorites. I understand
I did like the
completely
love
why.
story.
The love story is
Shout
very
out to
cute.
Christopher Sean for showing up as the
Yeah.
boyfriend in that one.
Love Christopher.
Anytime he does anything, I'm very happy because he's a cool dude.
He is a cool dude.
Anything else on The Village Bride?
No, not really. I can't remember the name of the deity that they worship.
I don't remember. I did like that concept.
Yeah.
I did like it that they did work in a little bit of a twist of you're talking about the Force. You
Yeah.
just call it something different. Um,
I love that. That's one of my favorite things in Star
that's why I
Wars.
say, well, and I guess if that was a little bit more forward, it, I mean, you can make the obvious assumption, but I don't think it told you that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm saying something in a way I know somebody's going to be like, no, that's wrong. But
Whatever.
it's just how I felt about it. Where I felt like Star Wars was in the background for this one, and whereas that is fine, it just means that for me, its rewatchability is lesser.
Understandable.
Because that's part of my ranking system too. Is how much do I want to rewatch it?
Mm.
So the next one is the Ninth Jedi.
The Ninth
We're making good
Jedi.
time on this.
We are doing our best.
Be sure to pop in and let us know your thoughts and what were your favorite. And even if this is after the fact, you're listening to this on the podcast, you can still hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and do that biz. Um, So the Ninth Jedi.
Thank you, Justin. It's a Coraline sweater. Um, the Ninth Jedi is 7 on my ranking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
I listen, okay, I
I
really
said
liked
I
it.
wasn't gonna be that guy. Dang it,
You
I'm
are that
sorry.
guy.
I didn't
Um,
wanna be like, "Oh my gosh, what? Really?"
it's time to reiterate the fact that I loved all of them.
Yeah, I know, I didn't mean
Yeah.
it that way. I just meant I'm surprised 'cause of the reasons and why I liked this one, I thought we would be
Yeah.
I don't think we've had one that's the same.
Yeah. I don't
That's
think so.
cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We are different people, we have different opinions, and that's good.
so the Ninth Jedi sucked according to Meg.
They
Um
did not it did not suck. I did not say that one little
I know.
bit.
Alright, but
I liked The
your
Ninth
thoughts.
Jedi. Well, I it's one of those ones where I think it moved a bit too slow for
Really?
me personally.
See, that's how I
Um,
felt about The Village Bride more than anything.
Understandable. But yeah, I love it. It's a great episode. It's another one of those there's an Akira reference in it. Absolutely dope.
Akira-ish, yeah.
Listen, man, when someone skids on
Anytime
a bike, it's an Akira
anytime
reference.
somebody does a dash on a motorcycle bike, yes.
It's an Akira reference. Okay,
Apparently.
me and
She
Chris
didn't do the
Ryans
actual
will
Akira
be in
pose.
agreement that it
She
is.
okay. Eh, in spirit. She didn't do the pose, though. There's a very
She
specific
didn't take a pill.
she
Her arm didn't explode.
it wasn't exactly the right way. I mean, that one episode of South Park was more Akira than I think this one was, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
you got a
I'm just kidding.
point. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. I
Yeah.
thought it was a bit
I
slow.
mean, it seems like we have the same opinions about different episodes because I mean,
Yeah.
that's how it was with The Village Bride for me. This one, is number 3 for me. It took a really long time to figure out my first 3. I went back and forth a lot. This one ended up at 3, uh, mostly because I love the story and action. Um, and the other so just to reiterate, so the duel was 2,
Yeah.
and then the other 2 featured Star Wars elements that were a little bit stronger and more personal preference. So
Mhm.
for the second one, the duel, it's that idea of I'm not Sith or Jedi, I'm kinda doing my own thing. I love that philosophy, so that hits a little bit stronger. This one still features a lot of very Star Warsy elements. I love the mood change lightsabers
Oh,
so
yes.
dang much.
So
That's
cool.
literally my most favorite thing about this
Yeah.
episode.
And very cool, effects as well.
Yeah,
Very well
and,
animated.
I love the storytelling element of that, she gets one and it has no color at first because she's like, "Oh, it's for a Jedi, it's not meant for me." Like,
Mhm.
it's reflecting that she hasn't accepted her calling, then later on, as she's defending someone, as she's doing the right thing, it turns green, and you see that moment, she does
Mhm.
become a Jedi.
Yeah.
Um
It kinda plays off something that I've always wanted to see, which is, a lightsaber being corrupted in real
Yeah,
time.
and I know that undoes stuff like bleeding the crystals and everything. I just believe it's different
Ugh,
science. I
kids.
just think it's different stuff. I think both can
It's
perfectly exist.
storytelling.
Um, I I think
Real
it works
proof.
fine. Um, you can have both. I love that the one conflicted character goes from red to purple.
Mhm.
I just love the storytelling of the lightsabers,
Oh, yeah.
and
That's the best part.
that is a cool thing, but it's not the most impactful thing. That's again why it ends up at 3 where it's got a really cool story, but overall it's not resonating as deeply. It's just really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it ends on a cliffhanger, and I know we're getting Ronin as a connected to the first episode one. I want this one followed up. I
Well,
want this one more than any of them
okay, and that
to
was one
get
of
a sequel.
the questions I was gonna ask was which one do you think
This one,
deserves to
at
follow
hands
up?
down, because I love all of the characters, and they managed to do that in 15 minutes where, I like Ian's hopefulness,
Yeah,
I like that, again, Keta's journey that she goes from realizing she is who she wanted to be.
yeah,
She loves and idolizes Jedi, and in reality, she is what she idolizes. She is, a guardian of peace and everything.
or who you choose to be.
Yeah, I love that.
Iron Giant.
I made the note of just like, raise a child on stories of knights and wizards and they might just become one. Because all throughout this, when her father tells her to go and take the lightsabers, when she's faced with the Jedi hunters, when she's protecting the main guy, she's making those choices because she believes that's what a Jedi would do.
Mhm.
It just takes until the end for her to realize she's doing that because she is a Jedi too. I just
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
really love it.
And, like, oh, I love that concept so much. Like, you raise a child on morality stories or stories about people that
Yeah,
are doing the right thing. They're gonna do the right thing,
exactly.
hopefully.
That's the way that you raise children up, and the way that they follow is if you start them on good footing with good stories and inspiration, they'll follow through.
We're gonna tell
Um
our kids' stories about, like, Sith, and
yeah, right.
"You wanna be a
um
dragon, Jimmy?"
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of our favorite characters are bad guys,
Yeah,
but,
actually.
yeah, I really like this one, and I don't want this one to necessarily take over, but yeah, and it's very much in reference to a C.S. Lewis quote, that I don't have exactly, but that where he talks about that of just like, that's why we tell stories is
Yeah.
that people would believe they can be the hero they read about, you know?
"Where's the bathroom, C.S.
And
Lewis?"
that's the right, and that's the whole point of Star Wars
Jackson's in there, don't worry
in
about it.
general, and that's why Star Wars is for kids, is the only reason it matters to adults is because it resonated with you as a kid.
Yeah.
Not to say, and there perfectly are people that need something that Star Wars has, and they find that later in life. They watch it as an adult and they're transported back to that childlike wonder. Absolutely.
I'm one of those people.
In that case, I feel like you're getting something you didn't get as a child. I'm not trying to put Star Wars as this biblical level of resonance. I think that gives Lucasfilm, Star Wars, and George Lucas too much power. I do think though they have found a science to telling the kinds of stories that do reach very great moral heights in teaching character and teaching kindness and goodness in people.
Yeah.
And and I think this story wraps that up in a lovely little anime burrito, and it's great.
I would eat an anime burrito in a heartbeat.
Um, so Justin asked, "Is Ronan a Sith hunter?"
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. I feel like he's too zen for that. I feel like he believes the Force will lead him to them, and it's like his destiny to subdue evil.
Or he wants to be the strongest, and he's trying to take out the
I think he's too
others.
chill for that. But I would like the idea of a moralistic Sith. I mean, Bane in the original Bane trilogy books came very close to that idea.
Mhm.
That's the irony of it is that the Sith at
Right.
one point they were on the cusp of realizing you're kind of right. The Jedi is a little bit corrupt, but you went too far with it.
Mhm.
Um, so this could, Ronin and the duel could potentially be a two punch method of hitting on a story very similar to that of someone that's very much down the middle.
Yeah.
Um, Although I think Ronan leads a little more light than he admits. I think that the story is that he was a Jedi. He was disillusioned to them, but he's not bad enough, and that's why I say he's too zen to hunt Sith. Because I don't think he's bad enough to be Sith,
I
if that
agree.
makes sense. But he's not good enough to be a Jedi either. A man with no home. Anyway,
Wow.
I'm so
Dark.
no, I mean,
Nah,
just the reality.
not
He
dark,
doesn't
dark.
fit in.
Yeah. Alright. What's your next one?
Um, Justin said, "I wonder if he used to be a Jedi, but now hunts Sith and had
There are
a
2
battle
wolves
with him."
inside of you.
Here, there's two wolves, and one is dead.
Dang, son.
Always kill the bad wolf. Never starve it. That is my greatest life advice. You don't want a hungry wolf coming after you. Anyway,
Wow.
uh, all of what I just said about Ronan was conjecture, by the way, but I really think it's heavily hinted he was a Jedi for
Mhm.
sure. Um, what his motives are, I think that they want you to buy the book. That's that's really what it is.
Yeah.
They wanted to get the most interesting character, the book, because they knew you would want more. What's next is TOB1.
This was my number 3.
Really, this was my
I
okay. Go ahead.
loved it
Yeah, I know
so
you would.
much.
Um,
Okay.
I love that it's a play on Obi Wan.
Yes. That was, like, what tipped
I
it over the edge
I
as
love
one of
that.
my favorites.
Yeah.
I loved it because of how stylized it was and how cute it was. I love it so much. It was Mega Man. It was Mega Man, but a
um,
Star Wars.
I think you're
Astro Boy Mega
I was
Man.
gonna say, yeah, I think you're leaning more Astro Boy. They are very
Okay.
similar.
What made it Mega Man in my brain was the fact that the doctor is Doctor Light
I will,
almost
yeah.
perfectly.
You can tell that the kid went more Astro Boy, but that the dad definitely. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's both. It's both. It's
Yeah.
almost Sonic. I mean,
I wanna
people
see someone
people
make
don't know the Sonic Bible and it shows, but it was very Sonic too.
Sonic he either is God or he could kill God, and I don't know if there's a difference.
Oh gosh,
Uh,
Brian David Gilbert, I hope
he's a
you're happy
beautiful
in life.
man. Oh, he's doing great.
This was
He's
oh,
playing the hurdy-gurdy.
yeah, this was my number 9. All
Oh,
the reasons you praise it
wee woo.
were less than favorable for me. Um, I specifically wrote that I'd have enjoyed it more if it was less stylized, but then it wouldn't be what it is, and then I wouldn't feel good liking it for what it was. Um, it's cute and fun, but also to its fault for me, it's unique. I recognize that it's just not my style. Like,
I I understand
there's
that,
absolutely nothing bad about this. I just didn't like it.
and that's fair. Like, it's the most that kinda stands out as for kids.
Yeah, and I should say I enjoyed Elements.
Mhm.
For sure. I love the design, first and foremost. I love just the idea. This Pinocchio-esque, this Robo Jedi boy. I love the idea. I just wasn't a fan of the execution
It's going back to the idea of can do droids dream
of
of the
Electric Sheep.
Force?
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
It's kinda going back to Skippy
and
a
that's
little bit.
why I say, like, I love the concept, and
Yeah.
I wrote the note and I took it away because I was being selfish in it, but I kind of wish it could be more realized,
Mhm.
like less anime, but like given a proper Star Wars shot. The reason I didn't keep that note in and I don't agree with myself on that is because this is Star Wars. Like
Yeah. This
I
is Star Wars at its very core.
I'm wrong in assuming that because it's not my style, it's not Star Wars. It
Yeah.
absolutely hits the story elements. It absolutely fits in. It's just not my style. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what I mean to say when I say that. I think it's going to take maybe giving it more chances and processing. But overall, I will say I love the heart that is behind the episode.
Absolutely. Like I said, it is 100% for a younger age group. I think you could see very plainly, and that's where my love for it comes from, is, like,
Sure.
it's such a story of looking to the horizon, which
Hmm.
is the soul of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's looking ahead and wanting to be a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
Not that Toby is not just already
Well,
the
and
best.
it's again that familiar story of choosing to go against your nature or
Yes.
programming in this case, not because it's bad, but just because you feel differently than you were programmed or created.
Mhm.
Like I that's a very Star Wars element.
Yeah, knowing that you
Absolutely.
were meant for something more.
Yeah. So that's why I say it is Star Wars.
Yeah.
I can't and no one should take that away of any of these episodes if any of them aren't your favorite. It is Star Wars. Every one of them does hit on the
Yeah.
elements of it for sure.
The people that made these episodes of the show understand
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that they do not.
And that doesn't mean they deserve a film, by the way. Like, someone can
Ow.
what I mean, like, people use that all the time. Like, people think that Dave Filoni is the god of Star Wars just because he gets it, and it's like, there's a
So
lot of
same
people
with
that
work.
get it. You know how many Star Wars podcasts I listen to that are smarter than us? Like,
So
there's a
many.
lot of people that get it. Not everyone that gets it should necessarily make it. I don't and what I'm not saying is that they don't deserve a film.
Yeah.
They deserve much more money and much more projects, for sure. What I mean is, like, I don't want people to start using the good about Star Wars, but everybody's worried about the bad. Everybody's worried about the "this isn't Star Wars"
Ooh,
stuff.
yeah, canon.
But I'm more worried about the people that are like, this should take over. This
No.
should be what we do from right now. Like, no, like no one thing should dominate. No one genre, style, or anything should dominate Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's why it can't be contained to film, comic, book, TV, any of that. It's so big and it's so inspiring. It's so much more than any of that stuff. So,
Shut up, Josh. Should have said more like a Valley Girl. But
huh?
which one? Which part? Which should have said?
Context, Josh.
He's not listening.
Valley Girl, where?
Valley Girl. Valley Girl. Who?
I
It's
don't know.
not canon.
That's not
Oh my
kind
god.
of. I don't know. I don't know what you're going for,
I don't
bud.
know.
But
But
welcome to the
hi.
stream.
Hi, Jack.
Um, the next one
Yes.
is The Elder.
The Elder! I loved The Elder. I think it was great Star Wars
It was.
in general. I saw it very low on a lot of people's rankings, but
Really?
I
Shame.
I trust them. The
Like,
late.
like, like, like.
Okay. Oh, I do say like a lot. I
Probably
acknowledge
talking to
this,
me.
probably. Um, The Elder was number 5 on my list.
This was my number 1.
Wow! Okay.
Yeah.
It it's right up your alley. Like,
It
I
is right next to the hobo.
right next to Shut
Um, yeah, so
Yeah. I absolutely this is another one where I loved the character design. I thought
yes,
it was absolutely fantastic.
good blend of
Um,
both worlds.
Absolutely. It was another one of those episodes that felt incredibly Star Wars,
Mhm.
where you had an opposition being stopped by the concept of hope
Yeah.
and hope in the future, and I love that
Mhm.
so much.
I knew it was
Um,
me.
yeah, it was John. It'd be like that.
I don't think when I speak, so I can't, like, catch like, just there, I can't catch when that's happening because
Yeah. It's word soup.
I
We're
was gonna say,
using
like, imagine
Bailey's.
snow, imagine static in my brain that's being translated to words.
Bzzz.
I can't think too hard or it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's fair.
So, words like, and like pop up a lot in my vocab.
Yeah, it's filler. It's like
It is
humans.
it's filler.
Yes.
It's
Um,
that one episode of Naruto. It's the Garlic Junior of my language. Anyway,
Garlic Junior is not filler. Garlic Junior is
this is
cool.
for the few anime fans out there that listen to our
Yeah.
show.
Hi,
Um,
Jackson.
yes, I'm sorry, we
Um,
totally got off
you're
track
fine.
there.
I love the design of the Elder. I love how creepy he is.
Ah, yes, and James Hong. Um,
S So good.
I wish I could shout out everyone. He
He
was
has
one I was
been
hoping would show up.
the voice in our heads forever.
He's been the Asian bad guy,
And good guy.
and sometimes good guy in almost anything since the
And
90s.
Poe's dad
He's
from Kung
Poe's
Fu Panda.
dad. He's just so many
My
great characters.
favorite anime.
He was a gang leader in Tango and Cash I watched the other night.
Yeah.
And he's just that guy that
He was
shows
on
up and you're just like,
Friends.
"Hey!"
He was on Friends on that, episode where Jon Favreau was dating Monica, and he
I was
wanted to
getting
be
ready
a
to say, wasn't
UFC
Jon
fighter.
Favreau on there too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Um,
dumb episode.
yeah, really good casting.
Yeah.
David Harbour was the, English voice
Yes, he
actor,
was.
for Tajin. I I liked that. I
It
thought
was
that was
great.
cool because I'm a recent convert into the fan of Harbour.
You're
I
in the
think
Harbor
he's a
Club.
cool human, and he did fine as Hellboy, and everybody should shut up about it. We're gonna talk about Hellboy at some point. Just know that because I have opinions now.
Me too.
And so that's gonna be an episode at some point,
Yeah,
maybe soon.
I love you.
I love the story. Again, uh, it's one of those where because of the blend of everything, I really enjoyed it. It felt like genuinely both Star Wars and anime.
Yeah,
It
the
got
bit at
along
the
well.
beginning with the kids was great.
Tajin was very much a great character, great addition. He's probably one of my new favorite Jedi. Um, he had very Qui-Gon elements, and I think that's why I'm partial, and that makes this number
Yeah,
one. Bec
because you're Qui-Gon
he
simp.
literally just said a bunch of wisdom
Yeah,
and just very in a very cool manner, very cleverly, uh, but just very quickly dispatched the foe. Like, I just love
yeah,
that stuff. He doesn't linger on fancy stuff or good tricks. He just is constantly he is the embodiment of pushing back darkness.
mhm,
Meanwhile, understanding what really is the light. So,
yeah,
just thought it
and
was philosophical.
that's fun. I like that concept so much.
Bobby Perez mentioned, "I would love to see a backstory on the Jabba band member in Tatooine Rhapsody. It seems that he would be a great average Joe hero."
Absolutely.
More of any of those cute boys. Well, there was the one female droid, but any of them, I loved them. They were a lot of
They
fun.
were great.
I
I love
definitely want more of Jay and Gee though, for
yeah,
sure.
100%.
Which I think, you're mentioning Jay or maybe Gee or maybe any of them. Again, just give us all of
I don't
it,
know.
and
Just give them all.
we'll all be right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
that's it.
I just because
It was
it's
good.
basically anime Qui-Gon, it worked for me. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
agree.
partial. I know I'm biased. throw Qui-Gon in, it's gonna be my favorite,
Oh,
I guess.
absolutely.
The next episode is Lop and Ocho.
Lop and Ocho, I do love a Leppy. They
Mhm,
are some of my favorite, weird aliens in Star Wars, and so seeing a new one instead of Jackson is always a delight in
mhm.
general.
Yeah,
Um
I made that note as well because, especially in the marketing for this, I fell into the trap of, like, of course, we gotta appeal to the furries,
Hey.
because I didn't expect it to actually be a Leppy. I didn't expect it to be a lore thing. I just thought it was a character choice, but
Yeah.
it turned out that was a genuine Star Wars, uh, species.
Yeah.
I was like, "Alright,
Yeah.
cool, I'm with it." So, yeah,
Yeah.
I made specific note of that.
And I think she's just the usual real cute anime girl. I think she does very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was number 8 on my listing.
This is number 5 for me.
I loved it. It was great.
So let me double check where, 'cause like I said, originally, yeah, this is just below Tatooine Rhapsody. I think the reason for that, I think in the rewatch, I made the choice because, again, I had more fun with Tatooine Rhapsody, I think.
Yeah.
This one, I love the story. I love the elements, the design of everything. Again, it's one of those that's not necessarily anything bad. It's just I liked it,
Mhm.
but I'm not rushing to rewatch it, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Um, I enjoyed for sure the very anime heavy story of that, the betrayal and everything. I loved,
Surprise adoption.
and at the end, when it's playing the holo recording of like, we're gonna be a real family, and it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, it hurt already. You didn't have to do it. It was just
Yeah.
it definitely made some anime choices.
And we also love a large father.
Yeah, oh yeah, who seems burly but is actually innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
One of my
yeah,
favorite
it was
tropes.
full of things I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think again, it's one of those where it's just like, I mean, I'd watch it again. I'm not necessarily, I don't have plans to right now.
Yeah.
That
It
makes sense.
it's definitely a really it's very rewatchable, but
Also,
gotta be in a mood.
another point in Tatooine Rhapsody's favor, it's the only episode without a lightsaber duel.
Yeah, there's an attempted one, but, like
Yeah, there's a lightsaber, but I I feel like I kind of imagined it was going to be uh, a trap of Star Wars visions because what's more Japanese than the main characters that were inspired by
Mhm.
Japanese folklore and culture, Jedi and Sith, right? I knew that was going to be a big mainstay. I would love if they do a season 2 of this to feature more regular characters.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
just non-force sensitive. I just think that's such an easy Star Wars thing, uh, and I think it's great in all of them, but that's not all there is to Star
I
Wars.
wanna see a Western.
I want to see a Western. I want to see a Japanese Western take. Um, I just want to see anything that's
I'd
just
love to see
got
a
normal
spaghetti
people,
Western.
right? Um, yeah, I don't really have
Yeah.
any other major comments on this. I made the note of more weird alien main characters,
Yes, please.
which
I would have loved more I would have loved more people of color, for one thing. I would also have loved more aliens
yeah.
in general.
Well, and I appreciate it. It was a more varied cast than I thought. It wasn't just
Mhm.
straight. It's all going to be obviously Asian descent characters. Um, they went all across.
Yeah,
I think they
that was
hit
great.
every nationality and everything in representation. So I liked that. Um, but yeah, in reference to them featuring a Leppy as the main character, is just like, yeah, that's great choice. It
Yeah,
again, I thought it was going to be, oh, we've got to have one who's just basically a furry. Um, but no,
yeah,
it was a great choice,
yeah.
actually, and I appreciate them for making it.
If you don't know what a Leppy is, just
Yeah,
Google it. Just
Jackson's, quieted out, on this one, even though,
he is
this is
our
his
favorite
time to
Leppy.
shine, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's fine, but yeah, it's also nice to have another one.
Yeah,
That's the beauty of what Jackson, the actual character, has done, is it's
he's
opened
the
the door
actual
for
character.
more. It's not just one weird bunny man character now, we
We have
it
more.
opens the door for, seeing that as a familiar face.
Yeah, and, it's been confirmed that Kevin Scott did not kill Jackson.
No, you couldn't.
You couldn't kill
He's
Jackson.
eternal. Um, the last and next episode is Akakiri.
Akakiri. That is my number 6.
Okay.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think it was very beautifully made.
Mhm.
I absolutely loved the sub over the dub,
Yeah.
personally. I think it fit a little bit better.
But the dub had, George
George Takei.
Takei,
I love George Takei so much.
right? I
There
loved it.
I absolutely no shade to the voice actors in any of the dubs. I think they were all fantastic. I think they were all well cast.
Mhm.
But a lot of the time I found myself enjoying the sub more.
That's fine.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense?
I don't I mean, people are gonna disagree with me. They made this knowing it was gonna be bilingual, so I don't
Yeah.
feel like there's a right way to do it.
No, not at all.
The only time I would ever say there's a right way is if it so for instance, when we've watched, K-horror, Korean horror,
Yes.
you should
Please
watch
watch the
that
sub.
and yeah, like, and watch the original and watch it in sub,
Yes.
like, don't that was meant for that, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
Please don't remake Train to
It
Busan.
wasn't made to be nationally, distributed and chained, like, it's got subtitles,
Yeah.
that's it I don't know, I'm not gonna get down this rabbit hole,
Yeah.
but, uh
If you can just look up from the subtitles every once in a while, you will
right,
see a
I
fantastic set of films.
so I feel like this was intentionally made to be really multilingual, but
Yeah.
especially, English and Japanese, so I don't feel like there's a right or wrong, it's just
No.
personal preference.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Um,
usually a subs over dubs person in general.
yeah, I know. Bobby Perez, Bobby, sorry,
That's my
made
purse.
another comment. It's very Jedi for the Jedi who lived past Order 66 to assimilate into the Empire and do the best they can with what they had. And sometimes that's joining a rock band. Very
Yeah,
true. You've got, oh my gosh, you've got Cal Kestis who becomes an engineer, basic a garbage man.
the
Um,
garbage boy, Cal
and
Kestis.
you've got Jay who becomes a singer. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to know your gifting, right?
Don't let
Um,
Connor hear you say garbage man when you're talking about Cal
well, I mean,
Kestis.
I said engineer, and then I was like, well,
He's a garbage
that's a
boy.
little elevated for what he actually did. He became a Jedi. He
Yeah,
was a Jedi in the end, but for a little while there, he
Jedi
was a
boy,
garbage
garbage
man,
man.
right?
Yeah,
Um, so
it's my favorite Star Wars story, garbage man.
you're right.
Yeah,
More Cal Kestis too, while we're at it,
yeah.
though.
This is another one that I absolutely adored the character design. The animation style was beautiful,
Yeah.
especially of the Sith sister,
Hmm.
the Sithster. I don't
Yes.
remember her name.
I don't either. Um,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. This one was number 8 for me, so
Mm.
next to last. Um, unlike, TOB1 where it was much because it wasn't my style,
Mm.
this wasn't a good it was a good blend of Star Wars and Japanese lore. Um, I think it was just simple, and I think
Yeah.
also it just still hasn't sat with me, and maybe watching it on its own, it'll be different, but it's the last episode, and it ends negatively.
Yeah.
Like, he kills maybe, his love and turns to the dark side, and, like, it's just very it's like if episode 3 was the last one, like
Yeah. Well, it's very much I need to pay the piper now. You did this for me. It's time for me to pay you back.
mhm. I mean, again, nothing necessarily wrong with it,
No.
and again, on its own, it might be fine. I think it's just when you're rewatching beginning to end, and this is the last one, it's just very much like, "Okay." Like, in my notes, I said that, Tatooine Rhapsody should have either been the first one because it featured familiar Star Wars elements in a very anime theme. I thought that would be the most easy entry point for some people
Yeah.
that haven't been a fan of anime. Um, or at the end because it's just so disconnected from anything super important. It's
Yeah.
not dealing with, many lives in the play. It's not dealing with light and darkness. It's just trying to save a dude from Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would have been a good ending as well.
Touch the hut.
Certainly better than Akakiri, just because again, it's kind of a bummer to end on. And I think that's part of why right now it's lower on my list.
Mhm.
Despite having a lot I like about it, I don't like it being the last one.
I understand that. I think it was kind of a bit out of place, but I don't know why they did it the way that they did.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a bit heavy.
well, again, I think it is familiar. I mean, it's very much of you think you're doing the right thing by
Mhm.
taking power, and turns out that's the wrong thing. He has these visions of someone dying, and It's like, "Well, I've gotta go do something." And it's like, actually what your visions are saying is if you do something, this will happen.
Mhm.
Um, so, it's very Anakin, just without
Oh,
all
yeah.
the, um, galaxy impact. I don't think the galaxy is falling apart because he made the choice to turn to the dark side like Anakin. I just think that it's another play on that story.
Look who showed up finally.
Oh my gosh!
Nicholas,
It's okay, we'll sue
Mr.
YouTube.
Milky.
Um, someone's reminder didn't go off, it's probably YouTube's fault.
Yeah, it's fine. You're
Um,
good. We still love you, Nick.
everybody gets one. Everybody gets one pass.
Only one.
What will happen next time? I don't know, try not to let there be a next time. Just
You're gonna
kidding.
find a leppy head in your bed.
Oh
That's what's
gosh,
gonna
we're gonna
happen.
go Godfather on you apparently.
Apparently.
Bobby Perez mentioned because we were talking about Cal Kestis, who I could talk about in an entirely different live stream, but he said it doesn't make sense to have an actor like Cameron Monaghan play him and not for him to show up in future content. Absolutely.
I think he
Um,
100% will.
people have the same opinion about like Sam Witwer for Starkiller. I don't agree with that. I don't as much as I'd like Starkiller to exist, I can play the game whenever I want. It's
Exactly.
fine.
I just want Sam Witwer to be in stuff more
But I would
'cause he's great.
definitely love Cal Kestis to show up in Andor or something. Um,
Yeah.
I want well, really, it's fine. I'd love a Jedi Fallen Order twice, or 2. Um, anything, just something.
Jedi Fallen Order twice.
Felt fallen
My
again.
favorite video game, the
I
Squeakquel.
got up and then I fell, and then I got up and put on my shoes and then I fell, and it's just it's
Welcome
just
to
a
the live
very
stream,
drunk,
baby.
Cameron Monaghan.
Have you
Um,
watched any of Gotham?
no.
It's great. I like
I
Gotham.
purposefully, didn't try to find anything, I knew who he was, but I
Yeah.
tried not to find anything else to skew my opinion because I wanted to like him, and I do.
I think he does very good in that show, but that's because I'm biased.
Uh,
Yeah.
Bobby
Heck
Rose mentioned
yeah.
the Toby episode moved me, in a way where I've been a kid before, and I was told I wouldn't be able to,
2 things I dreamed of.
okay, sorry, I have
You're
my glasses
blind.
and I can't read, I'm an old man. So if
Oh,
Droid wants to be a Jedi, I say go for it. Absolutely.
eh, heck
Again,
yeah.
the heart of TLB1 is pure Star Wars for sure.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, so I mean, overall, it's exactly what I expected. I love Star Wars Vision. I love even uh, though there's times where it loses me, I can still enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great lesson in that you're not with something as big as Star Wars, you're not gonna like everything immensely. Not everything is gonna be The Phantom Menace,
Yeah.
right? The best Star Wars.
I agree.
Not everything is going to be The Empire Strikes Back, right? The 3rd best Star Wars.
Not
Um,
everything is going to be The Last Jedi, the
the
2nd best
2nd best
Star
Star Wars.
Wars.
Yeah, we filled out our top
We just
3. Judge
ranked.
us for it if you choose.
Whatever,
Um,
dude.
no, yeah, like, I feel like we expect everything to be 110%, and it's just too much expectation.
Yeah,
Um,
you are going to get you're gonna get what you go in with. If you go in with an attitude of, "Oh, I'm not gonna like this because it's anime,"
mhm,
or "This is for kids, look at it," um, you're gonna find what you're looking for.
yeah, you're
But if you go in with an open mind and like, "I might like this,"
mhm.
or "I'm going to find something that I like about this,"
Yeah,
you're
like, that's my
gonna enjoy
thing
it better.
is, like, I understand not liking something, but
Yeah,
for someone to just, like, crap on something is a whole 'nother level of being a garbage human because you're there's no way that you can and I'm gonna say this, and somebody's gonna mention a movie that completely contradicts me, but there's no way that you can completely hate something, a movie, a book, like, I just don't think anything is genuinely that bad
no,
to turn you into a hater, a toxic person. I think that is you, that is in you, and you choose to be that way because you refuse to find anything good about it or to change anything about yourself.
yeah.
Um, you
Maybe
know,
you're just watching it wrong,
it
Chief. You ever think about that? No.
you pick up the mood change lightsaber, you might be surprised what you find, what color you get.
No,
Hopefully, none of our followers. I think we have great people following
we
us
do.
and in this
Lovely, lovely
community, in this
folks.
herd, and so that's part of why we enjoy these live stream is getting to hang out and do this. And you know, we look forward to what herd chatter is going to be. Again, this blending of hat chatter, nerd chatter, where we're going to talk about maybe fandom stuff, maybe life stuff, but we're going to talk about stuff and have fun doing it. And
Yeah.
of course, along the way,
You are the best, Nick.
talk Star Wars and other things we enjoy as well. That's what's great about this too, is because Star Wars is always so Star Wars. It's hard
So
to
Star Wars.
it doesn't
Much
necessarily
wow.
hit on your other interests.
Yeah.
Anime Star Wars gets to do that because I get to watch an episode and be like, "Oh man, this is like Evangelion. Oh my gosh, this is like Mega Man." Like I get to have those moments
Yeah.
where I'm like, "Hey, this makes me like something else more too," because you can like both.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the genre bending that this is doing, and I hope to see more. I don't necessarily want to get just every kind of version of Star Wars stories we can get. I want to keep the uniqueness of Star Wars stories, and I think Star Wars Vision has done that. Um, I don't think it ever should be milked to the point that we're just doing it to do it.
Don't
Um,
milk Star
that
Wars.
shouldn't be any of it.
You may not
Um,
like what comes out.
but I think if you give the power to passionate creators, you will get something that is pure and good and Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think just I like to see.
This show was fresh as a bagel.
Yeah,
I loved it so much.
I'm really proud to see Lucasfilm, outsourcing
Yeah.
storytelling. We're getting all kinds of and they've been doing it for the past few canon years with authors as well of,
Yeah.
like, you're getting, folks from backgrounds in horror, backgrounds in fantasy. You're getting all kinds of you're not just getting and I love them, but Karen Travis, like, who wrote so many,
Mhm.
Star Wars books, it's ridiculous, and that it's just like, yeah, they're a great sci-fi writer, but there's also other great authors too, like, maybe give somebody else a chance.
You know what I'd love? I'd
So
love a
yeah,
shout out to Hologram Fun World from the Jedi Prince series.
it's a good series. It's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Triclops, man.
And Trioculus.
Um, Freaking, Darth Palpatine's Darth Sidious's, baby child. Uh, yeah. Here's the thing.
We need to get Michael on the
In
show.
canon and in Legends, dude made a science baby. Live with it. It was always gonna happen.
There is
He was
nothing
always his love was always gonna find a way.
test tube love. There's Star Wars has always been weird. That's my that's
There you go.
all that I have to say about that.
So once again, we will be back with weekly. If we don't get any solid help from the questionnaire that you can, if you're watching this live, find on our Twitter page, or if you're watching or listening to this after the fact, you can find in the description below. If we don't get a lot of responses as of next week as to when and at what day and time we should do streams moving forward, we may keep Sunday next week as well. But that is a plea with you to give us your answers. Let us know. We'll take everybody into
Yep.
consideration, even though we won't make everybody happy. But we want to try and find a day that's great for more of the herd to join us and for Podcast of the Wills, Nick, to be on time. So,
Yeah. Come on, Nick.
uh,
Get with it. You're going
so
live
check
in
that out.
literally like an hour.
We'll retweet it on our Twitter for those that would like to do that now, or you can wait until this episode goes up on YouTube later. Either way, uh, we will be back. Since this was a Star Wars episode, we'll probably be back with Nerdyverse
Yeah.
this coming week. And
Yeah.
again, then our first live stream in the new series of Herd Chatter.
Yeah.
Be sure to check all the other links in the description, how you can support us through Patreon or through buying coffee through Expedition Roasters. Shout out to them. Thank you to our patrons. They're awesome in supporting us for what we do. And check out also, there's a new link in our link tree where you can get a Nerdherder t shirt.
Yeah.
Our friend Jesse over at Game Infinite, who is a person and page you should
Who is a
follow if
person,
you
yes.
like game news, content, cosplay, all of that great stuff, and interesting what if articles as well.
Yeah.
Um, Game Infinite on Twitter and Instagram. But they have a store for creators. We manage their Instagram page, Star Wars Infinite, which is, of course, all things Star Wars. Give
Yeah.
us a follow. And because of that, we have a tee on their shop. And so if you want a Nerd Herder tee, if you want some nerd swag, then check out the link in our link tree. That will take you straight to that. Check out the other
Yeah.
stuff too. There's a lot of other awesome creators with cool content as well. So,
And one more thing
yes.
that I forgot
Uh-huh.
to put in the notes.
Yes.
This Tuesday night, hi.
Oh,
I'm gonna be live.
she's gotta shout out her moonlighting.
I do. I have to shout out my
She's too
guesting.
good for just one
It's
podcast.
Boop Visibility Month. I'm going to be on Hyperfocus on the Bombadcast.
Yeet.
Yeah, with my
No.
buddy Jerry.
Yeah, we're happy to shout it out. Last time, right after ours, you were hanging out with Broaxium. This next week, you're hanging out with Jerry. Do you know his @ handle?
Uh, he is at the Canon Junkie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Give him a follow.
And
Also
also
follow
Bombadcast.
Bombadcast, where he hails from, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out all these other awesome we're not trying to
Yeah.
gatekeep the herd or fandom.
No.
Podcast of the Wills is in the chat. Give them a follow as well. They are both hilarious and insightful on the
Yeah.
Twitters.
Love 'em.
So you hit both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum there.
Yeah, we're gonna be going live at 9 PM on this Tuesday night. We're gonna be talking
Not we.
about No, not we. Me and Jerry.
Hyperfocus.
It's basically
Follow
just gonna
Jerry
be
at the Canon Junkie.
two weirdos having a conversation.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'll probably be eating tacos and drinking Baja Blast in the next room.
Probably.
Which is also a great night. At me if you wanna join.
Wow.
Yeah. So with that, thank you guys for joining who came in live. Thank you those who are listening after the fact, and just thank you in general for
Thank you.
giving us your time. We appreciate everyone who is a part of the herd, and we look forward to continuing to grow this little weird family we have. No, Nick, we're not the best. Megan is just both the best. I'm
No?
just here.
No.
It's a bye joke. Anyway, bye.